Hello everyone, welcome to day 10. Successfully, we have already passed through the first third of the challenge. We gained over 80 rating points, and I should say I'm in good shape. But of course, playing in the 2400s are going to be a lot more difficult compared to playing in the 2300s. So today what I'm going to bring up to you is a game that I recently played without recording, against a 2463. And this, in a way, is the best win I have done in this challenge, because that game against this 2500, really, not really a win. It's just that I'm down a piece and he just disconnected. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go check out the series. A lot of fun games. So today, let us dive right into our analysis. I really would like to introduce this game to you because it means a lot, and it can also share you a lot of knowledge. So to begin with, this is the French defense, advanced variation, and after bishop d7, bishop e2, here what I generally go for is f6. This is a flexible approach in all of these French defense variations, as long as there's no queen h5 threat, which is very dangerous. So after f6, e takes f6, knight takes f6, and short castles. Taking the pawn on f6 is generally not a good decision, because the entire idea of playing f6 is to bring out the knight and secure the spot for the bishop as well. After castling, the f-file is also utilized, and in the future, potentially we can add some pressure onto the f2 square, like this. Oops. So now I already hold a slight edge, and indeed, the engine suggests an alternative to knight e4, which is bishop e8. This is also a common motif in the French defense after takes on f6, because the entire idea of clearing the f7 spot is potentially bringing the bishop over to either g6 or h5 to add some pressure towards the queen side. After bishop e8, after knight e4, my opponent played knight b d2, I go for the bishop pair. This is a material advantage that is often overlooked by medium players, but in my opinion, the bishop pair can be extremely powerful when used correctly. Sometimes it can even outscore a rook and two pawns in certain situations because of its nature of having two pieces rather than one and controlling both colors. The two pieces working together can be extremely powerful. Now, here I played bishop b6, the idea of which is to play e5, because before here, there's the threat knight b3, and if I play this move here, there's knight b3 and takes, which is going to be bad for me. After bishop b6, my opponent played knight b3 anyway, stopping the plan of e5. Now here I went for queen f6 to add additional pressure on the f2 spot, and potentially in the future I might even play something like g5, g4. Now of course this also supports a potential future e5 as well, and most importantly, I'm hiding an idea of bishop e6 behind the move queen f6, because e5 is an extremely important move, and in the future I might be even willing to sacrifice this pawn just to push e5 and block with tempo to push e4 and attack the f2 square. Now my opponent found this fascinating move, c4, and it has basically the idea of if you take, this is going to become a weakness, and if you don't take, it is extremely hard to deal with the d5 square, the d5 pawn. The engine gives this move, knight e7, a potential way of defending, and indeed it is good, but actually the top engine line is played in the game, rook a d8. The idea is the following: c takes d5, e takes d5, queen d5, and bishop e6. Because if you look carefully, let's say we don't play queen g5, we just played in the game, something like queen e4. Now, first of all, we do have rook f8, adding some extra tempo on this weak king, a weak queen, and even if he retreats, there's something like this, queen c3 trades, and after some further trades, we end up with consistent pressure on f2, a better pawn structure, and in the future, I might be able to bring in this rook as well. This rook is basically wasted, and I can't just slide my rook over, bring it in, and it could be a huge problem for my opponent. So I'm pretty proud to say that I saw queen e4, rook f8, queen c2, knight b4, queen c3, b takes c3, and the rest. It took me some time, but I'm glad I evaluated correctly. That makes me pretty confident to actually succeed in this challenge, but I do need your support. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out this video that I posted up here on the corner, and let us continue viewing the game. Well, after queen g5, I went for taking the pawn, and now we are in balance materially. Only, we have the bishop pair. Again, the bishops are very powerful. So here, this bishop is currently being attacked, and it doesn't have a good square to go to. That means it must be protected either like this, but if this f2 is weak, and this bishop can't move, and if the other rook, we can just simply take on a2, this knight is being attacked, and we are a lot better. Now, the reason the bishop doesn't have a good square to go to is, first of all of these three squares are attacked by my pieces, and my opponent just went for bishop b5, missing the fact that there's rook d5. And miraculously, the queen doesn't have a good square to go to. Normally, you would have thought that the queen should try to attack the e6 bishop, but both of these moves are being blocked by the knight and the bishop. The engine, though, recommends this, which in a way is still survivable because looking at the weight of things, I'm just up 1 point. But what you should understand is that these pieces are extremely weak, and the f2 square is also very weak. So in this position, I am winning. Well, he went for queen h4, b5, and in a few moves, we went for the simplification method. We took down some pieces, went for a trade, attacked the f2 pawn, the entire reason that we played f6 in the opening, and in a few moves, we won a few pawns, and this brings, okay, I just kind of mind slipped and thought he's going to play king h1, but actually played king h2. I played bishop g3, he didn't even see it, so I just backed out. And now this brings us to the topic of how to win games effectively, because as you can see, we're down 1 minute, and in a way, it isn't all that easy to win, even though of course this is a lot better for black. So generally, when you have extra pieces, there are two ways to win. One way is to try to promote a pawn and use this pawn to take down all of your opponent's pieces, leaving yourself with perhaps a few pawns left and a extra line piece. Now the second way is to go for the king immediately, for instance like this. Because we're utilizing the fact that we do have an extra piece compared to my opponent, that means we have extra manpower to attack the king. Now, in the game, I converted pretty cleanly, and I pushed the pawn, successfully trapped this knight, and then protected the pawn, and this is simply a win. Here, my opponent resigned after move h5, and I successfully beat this 2463 rated opponent, and I'm glad to report I gained yet a bit more rating. Follow this series, and I will see you tomorrow. Hope you enjoy your chess. Peace until then, goodbye.